Hello friends, welcome to Brave Little Buckaroo. I'm Tamsin and I live in Perth, Western Australia, where I run an online quilting shop and offer long arm quilting services from my home. And this is my channel where I like to talk about all of the creative things that I do, including quilting, garment sewing, knitting, stitching, and all sorts of other things. Today I have for you a selection of quilted vest patterns and the fabrics I would use to sew them up in. Now, I live in Perth, Western Australia, as I said, and we're currently heading into summer now, and it's completely seasonally inappropriate for me to be thinking about quilted vests. But I've been wanting to make one for a really long time, and I recently had some fabric coming to my shop that I thought would be perfect for it. And now I'm not sure if you can hear my husband giggling in the background. He's in the other room watching television with his headphones on, and he's supposed to be being quiet, but he's giggling. Anyhow, hopefully you can't hear that. And so back to the story. I recently had some fabric come into my fabric shop, my quilting fabric shop, that I thought would be absolutely perfect for making quilted vests. And then I thought, well, I'll have a look for some quilted vest patterns, and I found several. And then I thought, oh, maybe I could come up with some other fabric options. And now I have a whole collection, and I thought, well, maybe you would like to see them as well. So that's what we're doing here today. So let's get started. The first, what should we do? Shall we alternate patterns and fabrics? Let's do that. These will be in no particular order. Any of these patterns could be made with any of these fabrics, and also with any other fabric, loads of different fabrics. But these are just a selection of 5 patterns and 5 fabric pairings that I've come up with. I keep looking over here because that's where they are, sorry. And that's what I'll share with you today. Now, of course, you could use an already quilted fabric to make a quilted vest. You could also do patchwork. Like make your own patchwork panels to make your own quilted vest. That would be fantastic, and that is also something I would really like to do. But for today, I will show you just some individual fabrics, one for the outside, one for the inside. Yeah, and we'll start from there. So just before we get started, I'll tell you about what I'm wearing today. This is the Style Art coat dress. This is the first one that I ever made. It's out of a linen from a fabric shop called Fabric Deluxe, which sadly is no longer in business. But I think I did find this exact same linen in stock at the fabric store. So if it is, I will link that below. It has the original faced neckline, the button closure at the back, sort of just below the elbow length sleeves. I think this is the original sleeve length. I don't think I did any mods on that. And pockets. These are the original pockets, or the original pocket placement. I find them to be quite low, so I have raised them in subsequent versions and secured them to the waist seam. Yeah, so that is what I'm wearing today. And now I have for you 5 vest patterns and 5 fabric combinations that I think will work for them. Okay, so now the idea for me in these vests is that I would want to probably wear them over, like over dresses maybe, or over like a puffy sleeved blouse. So I want it to be cropped. I want it to be not too fussy, and maybe with just like some kind of simple closure at the front. That was kind of the parameters that I was looking for. So let's get started. The first pattern I have for you is the Juliana Martege Emily vest. Now I'm looking over your shoulder here, sorry, because I've got the information all on my computer screen. So if I'm looking away from you, that's why. I'm not going to go ahead with and read out all the sizing information or all of that. I'll put up pictures of what each pattern looks like, and I will link everything below for you to go and have a look at the ones that you like specifically. So, but to start with, the Juliana Martege Emily vest. It's a cropped length. It's got a lovely sort of curved hem on it. It looks like it's got little welt pockets and a simple V-neck with a tie closure. It looks very cute. And I'll start with the first fabric that sort of originally inspired this whole thing. And that is this Hexi Flower cheetah print fabric. It's by Alexia Abag. It's called, it's from the Catnap collection for Ruby Star Society. And it is so cute. These little hexi flowers are, I don't know, maybe each hexagon is about an inch and a half tall, or maybe an inch tall. So it's quite small scale. And I originally, when I ordered this fabric, these fabrics are all in my shop, by the way. That's where they've come from, in my fabric shop online. They'll all be linked below. Well, the fabric section will be linked below. And my original thought when I ordered this was that it would make a fantastic quilt coat. And I do think it still would make a fantastic quilt coat. But also, I don't know, once it got here, I just kind of felt like it wanted to be a vest. Maybe a coat would be a bit much. I think I expected it to be slightly larger scale than this. And I think maybe a whole coat out of that would be maybe just a bit of overkill. So anyway, I think it will make a beautiful quilted vest. And I think on the inside, I think potentially any of these vests, depending on how you make them, could be made reversible if you wanted them to be. But for the sake of this exercise, I think the inside lining would be this print that's also from the same collection. I'll try and get it close enough that you can see. Those are upside down. They're little tiny apples. Bright pink apples. The color is not exactly right there. They're bright pink apples on a tomatoey red background. And obviously they match perfectly with the flower print because they're from the same collection. And that's the whole idea. And I think I would have the cheetah print on the outside. They call it a cheetah print or a cheetah cloth because it looks like it's pieced. It looks like it's made up of lots of little patches and it's patchwork or English paper piecing in this case. But it's not. It's just, it's printed that way. So they call it a cheetah cloth because you're cheating, basically. Yeah, so I would use the cheetah cloth for the outer, the apples for the lining, and maybe like a black or a dark navy as the binding. Most of these quilts do have a binding. I would either potentially use like a contrasting binding, like a black or a navy or a stripe or a dot, or I may use the lining fabric, the same for the binding. But if I was going to pick from what I have in front of me, I would potentially use this black and white dot fabric as the binding. I think that might be cute, and it might sort of help the shape of the quilt sort of stand out a bit as well. Not the quilt, the vest. Yeah, so that is combination number 1. And the second pattern I have for you is the Sewing Therapy Hanbok vest. And this one is slightly different in construction. It wraps around and has a tie that sort of ties at the side. It doesn't join in the middle. It sort of crosses over itself and ties at the side. Very cute, very sweet. And Sarah from Sewing Therapy has always excellent resources for her patterns. So there'll be like a full sew along on YouTube and all of that sort of thing. And multiple versions. I know there's a hack where you can make it just like one fabric, not lined or quilted, potentially like if you've got like a Sherpa fleece or something like that, you could do it with that. And that would be very cute as well. So my second fabric combination is the black and white dots that we just saw and these birds. I think they are so cute. I mean, black and white would go with everything, right? Like what would that not go with? So I would do the birds on the outside, the dot as a lining, and then potentially it would be reversible if you wanted to make it that way. I think in order to make it reversible, you would just need to bind your seams. And I'm quite sure that there's a tutorial instructions for how to do that in this pattern as well. So this is also a Ruby Star Society fabric. It's from the same Catnap collection by Alexia Abag. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And it's just these gorgeous black birds on a white background. And I think that looks sort of modern, but also sort of classic. And I think that would be very cute. And I would probably bind that in black, I would think. But if you if you had like a specific outfit or a specific dress or a top that you wanted it to go with, you could bind it with a coordinating fabric. But I mean, obviously it's black and white, so you could bind it with literally any color. You know, if you wear a lot of pink, bind it in pink. If you wear a lot of green, bind it in green. And I think any of that would work. It would be cute bound in red or, I don't know, a rainbow stripe. I didn't pull binding fabrics to show, but you know, there's tons of options. Just pull out a coordinating or a contrasting or a whatever sort of vibe you like, and that is what you can use. The next pattern I have for you, oh, this is a brand new pattern. I literally just saw it come out the other day. It popped up on my Instagram feed as coming soon, and then yesterday I went and had a look at the website when I was doing some more research for this video, and it was available. So I have downloaded it. It is free. I think you can pay. I think there is an option to pay for it, but it is also a free pattern. And that is the Matchy Matchy Sewing Club Wavy Quilted Vest. Like I say, it's brand new. It's literally just come out like yesterday. And it's so cute. It's got like a wavy edge all the way around the outside. And yeah, I really like it. One of their versions is in patchwork. Well, it looks like patchwork. I suppose it could be a cheetah cloth, but I'm pretty sure that is actual patchwork. And the other one is just in a solid color with a contrast binding, which is also another great option. And I'm just working down my stack here in no particular order, so this may not be the best combination for whichever pattern we're looking at, but for this one, the next combination I have is this fabric here. And this is from the Paper Hamlet collection from Kath Holden. I'm going to pull it nice and close so you can see the whole vibe of this collection is like a paper craft ephemera sort of collage effect, and you can see there's text behind there. It looks like cut up pieces of paper from like old advertising and magazine clippings and all that sort of thing, but it's actually obviously printed on this fabric. It's so beautiful and so quirky, and I have the whole collection of this range in my shop in fat quarter bundles and in yardage, meterage, depending on where you were dragged up. And I think this would be super cute as a quilted vest, and for the lining or potentially the outer, if you made it reversible as well. I thought this frame print would be so cute. This one also comes in a navy blue background, so if you didn't want to go with the lighter color, you could use the navy as well. And also the flowers come in a white or off-white background, and I think maybe a green background as well, if those are more your colors. But this is just all little frames, and they look like they have tiny embroideries in them, tiny little artworks. There's flowers, houses, chairs, birds, vases of flowers. It's so cute and so sweet and so quirky, and I'm absolutely certain that if you made a quilted vest out of this, every person would stop you and want to look at what was on your clothes. I mean, look at that. It's so cute. Oh, I'm obsessed with it. So this is combination number 3 for a quilted vest, the Paper Hamlet collection by Kath Holden. Again, both of those and all of the other prints from that collection are available in my shop. And I love it so much. It would also make a fantastic quilt, obviously, or anything else that you wanted to make with quilting fabric. Okay. Now, the next pattern I have for you is the Sid Graham Ruby Vest. This one is also super cute. It's got a few options. It can be a V-neck or all the way up to the neck. It's got buttons or ties, depending on your preference. You can lengthen it or crop it. Lots of options. And I think it's super cute. In the sample picture, the main image, she has it in just a single fabric that is quilted with straight lines. But of course you could also use patchwork or printed fabrics, whatever you like. And I'll pop in a few different images there of her testers, etc. And the next fabric combination I have is, now you can probably tell here what my colors are. I'm into obviously like blues and pinks. That's probably my happy place in most situations. But again, there's tons of options, that you could choose from, and most of the fabrics I'm showing you I have in various colorways as well, so if you liked any of these in particular, you can find them either in my shop or someone else's shop in various colorways. Now this is the Reimagined Landscapes collection. It's for Ruby Star Society and it's by designer Jen Hewitt. It's got these super cute strawberries. Oh, that's hard to say. Super cute strawberries and little strawberry blossoms in this gorgeous navy blue and pink colorway. Now I also have this fabric in a white background with, I think the strawberries are pink and the leaves are green and the flowers are maybe like mustardy browny color. But I kind of thought for this one, if you weren't into strictly the same colors that I am into, there's this green option as well, which is also really beautiful. So if you are a green lover, and I do know a lot of people love green and pink together, I mean, which I also do, but blue is my happy place. But I thought that a reversible vest with these two prints would be very cute and would go with a lot of different things in your wardrobe depending on which way you wore them. And you could bind it maybe in that coordinating pink, or you could bind it in white or yellow, or even the navy or the green would probably go with either color depending on what your favorite one was. So that is option number 4. And finally, the 5th pattern on our list today is the Oh Me Oh My Sage vest. It also comes in a coat and a jacket, but in particular, I'm interested in the vest. It's very cute. The main pattern image here is like a red gingham with pockets and ribbon ties. It's so cute. V-neck, 2 ties, big patch pockets. And as I said, it also comes in a jacket and a coat. So if you wanted to go all the way and make a quilted coat or a quilted jacket, you certainly could do that as well with this pattern. And I think they all look just absolutely great. And the final fabric combination I have for you is another brand new one in the shop. Now, sometimes when you order fabrics, I'm sure this is probably the same for garment fabrics as well, but when I order quilting fabrics, I'll often order a number of pieces from the same collection, or indeed the entire collection, and then they don't all come at the same time. So I think I've ordered, I don't know, 15 different prints out of this collection. It's called Darling Peony, but I've received 3 of them and the rest of them aren't meant to ship until January. So I was kind of torn between putting them up for sale or waiting until the rest came, but I thought, you know what, I don't really have the luxury of space to be holding things for months at a time hoping that the rest of them will arrive. So for now I have put this one in the shop, and it's a very large scale floral and these beautiful pinks and corals, big peonies, so beautiful. See these giant big florals there. I'll show you if I can. You know, for scale, there's my hand. So that flower is pretty much as big as my outstretched hand. And that's so pretty. And I thought for a contrast for the lining, another fabric from this collection. This is, I think I said, called Darling Peony, and the designer is Robin Pickens. It's for Moda Fabrics. And this is another print from the collection with a little sort of sketchy, hand-drawn little floral motifs there, fruits, hearts, almost sort of sunshine, sort of little drawings there, leaves. So pretty, and pink and red together are so great. When I was growing up in the 80s, I feel like we were told that you should never wear pink and red together because they clash. I kind of like they used to say that blue and green should never be seen, and all of these silly rules that they used to have. But actually pink and red together now are so popular in fabrics and all sorts of things. And I do think they really work. I think this one you could bind in like a red or even in a green would be beautiful, or a white would be great. Yeah, there's a lot of options there. Even this golden yellow from the center of the flowers there, that would match with both and pick up tones in the inside and the outside. Yeah. So those are 5 vest patterns and 5 quilting fabric combinations that I think that you could make with them. And if you were going to make a quilted vest, you could use for the inner layer like a quilt batting or a wadding, like 100% bamboo would be nice, or a bamboo cotton blend, straight cotton you could use. Wool, if you live somewhere where it's cold and you really need it to be warm, you could use a wool batting. That would be fantastic. But if you don't have access to quilt battings, you could also use like a flannel or a fleece. You wouldn't even have to line it with a batting or anything soft if you didn't want to, theoretically. You also wouldn't have to quilt it. You could just make it like with an inside and an outside and have it not be quilted. It could just be like a lined jacket if you live somewhere really warm, like I do, for instance. Yeah, so there's lots of options there. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out in the comments and I'll be sure to help where I can. I've never made a quilted vest, but I made a lot of quilts and I've made a lot of garments. So I think I can figure it out, and I could probably offer you any advice as well if you get stuck along the way. Now, in my last video, I did say that I was going to talk about this today. And I said also that if you would find it interesting, I might do a little walkthrough of my fabric room, where I store all the fabrics for my shop. It is rapidly getting full. And I'm going tomorrow to IKEA to buy some more shelves, and we're figuring out a way to make some more space to store some more fabric, because there's always more coming and it comes in a lot faster than it goes out. So yeah, things are reaching critical mass here at the moment, but that's okay. It's so fun. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah, so go have a look at some of these patterns and see what you think. If you are going to make one, let me know. If you would like to purchase any of the fabrics in my shop, you are certainly welcome to do so, depending on where you live and where I can ship to, of course. Yeah, so that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting and fun, and I'll see you next time, maybe with a quilted vest to show you. Okay, I love you. Bye. Hello again. It's a couple of days later now, and I've been to IKEA and bought some new bookshelves. I've assembled them. I've had a bit of a tidy up in the fabric room. So I thought I would give you a bit of a walkthrough of the situation here as it stands. It is a work in progress. My whole house is a work in progress, to be honest. But that's okay. We do what we can. And I thought you might find it interesting to see what it's like to have a fabric shop in your house. All right, I'll take you off the tripod and we'll go for a walk. Okay, so as you walk in the door of the room, this is the shelf where I keep most of my bundles currently. Some of them are factory cut full collection bundles. Some of them are bundles that I've assembled myself. There's some layer cakes there. This room used to be my personal fabric storage. Before I really got into buying in fabric to sell, this was more of my own personal storage room. So some things in here are still in the process of being sorted and moved out of here. So there's a little bit of nonsense up here at the top. These are some picture frames that need to be hung back up since the last time I moved things around, and some of these fabrics here are personal stash fabrics that need to go into another room. And then up the top there, I've got some of my completed quilts folded up and hanging out up there. And as you walk in, I'll try not to make you dizzy. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that looks pretty impressive, right? as far as spare rooms go. That's a pretty cool one. I normally have my ironing board in here, so that's why there's a electrical cord curled up in the corner there. I've taken out my ironing board so you can see. And here we go. So this top right shelf here, this here, these are fabrics that I have earmarked for garments. Up the top there is the rayon that I just showed you in this video earlier. I've got a couple of bolts of, what was that collection called? Lindsay Ray Summer Abroad that I purchased to make some garments out of. I've got some Liberty prints here. These ones are Liberty, Tana Lawn. This is the fabric that I made my favorite co-ord set out of. That's the same fabric in another colorway, and that's a black and white line drawing of the same print. Yeah, so those are my garment fabrics that I have stored in here, specifically ones that sort of come from quilting fabric manufacturers. This is not all of my garment fabrics. I have a whole other room for that. Yeah, so, and then I've just kind of got all of the fabric bolts stacked in here. These shelves, these wooden shelves, came from a fabric shop that closed down, I guess earlier this year, maybe late last year. It was called Carol's of Midland, and it was in Midland. And they closed down after many, many years of being a business. And I bought some of their shelves thinking, you know, they'd be handy to have, but I would never actually fill them all up. And I have now well and truly outgrown them. It happened very quickly, but that's okay. It's great to have such a big collection of things coming in. Down here I just have my batting offcuts from quilting. So when I need a small piece for a table runner or a wall hanging or something like that, I've got those all measured with how big they are, so I know I can use them. I've got some bolts of interfacing, woven and non-woven interfacings, and my pattern tracing fabric paper stuff through there. Now, these shelves here, the one on the right on this side, this is mostly now shop stuff, fabric, and that center shelf there is some of the tools and notions that I carry. The Simply Perfect slotted trimmer rulers. Sorry, it's not focusing properly. Some flatter spray, 401 adhesive or 505 adhesive. I don't think I can ship that, but if you shop in person, that's available. Up here I have, on the right are some of my still personal English paper piecing kits. They come with like the templates and the papers and the pattern all in them. They're the ones that I've got sort of on deck to get to hopefully one day. And over here, these are kits for my wall hangings that I make, that I did workshops for. There's some kits available if you wanted to make your own. Those are on the website as well. This shelf here is still a bit of a work in progress. This is, a lot of this is my personal stash that I'm still sorting through to go move into where my personal stash now lives. That's my fancy electric fabric cutter for when I'm cutting up lots of bolts for bundles. Now through the door there, that's the long arm machine. That's back into like the living area where the long arm machine and my sewing machine and where I normally film all my videos, that's through there. And what else have we got in here? In this corner here, this is where I have, well, up the top is all my bolts of batting. Well, some of my bolts of batting. Those are the cotton bamboo legacy batting that I use most of the time. There's my vintage Singer and a vintage hemming system. I've never actually used that, but I do like to have some vintage things around. On the right there are my brave little buckets. What are they called? Samples, prototypes. that I made for another workshop that I was running. Thinking of doing a tutorial video on those. Let me know if you'd be interested. They're nesting bowls. They've got see if I can grab. They've got smaller ones on the inside. They're lined, bound, and reversible. I might do, maybe during Vlogmas, if I do Vlogmas, I might do a tutorial for those. Lego flowers, my daughter bought me those to do for, I think, my birthday last year. Overlocker. This is a, down here, this is a pleating machine. What are they called? Oh, a smocking pleater. I got that recently. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. I haven't used it yet, but I looked for one for a while and I was very happy to have that one. Down there, oh, that's my backup machine. I usually sew on a Juki at the moment, a Juki straight stitch machine, but I keep my Janome around for buttonholes and zigzag stitches, things like that, because my Juki only does a straight stitch. A couple of wide back fabrics down there that won't fit on a shelf. That is technically a wide back fabric, but the supplier, for whatever reason, only sent me 2 meters instead of a full 16-meter bolt. So I intend to make a dress or something out of that. And this here is supposed to be my English paper piecing cart. It's all supposed to be English paper piecing supplies, but it has a little bit become where things in progress have come to die, unfortunately. Let's have a look at what we've got here. This is some scraps from the sunbonnet quilt that I made here on the channel. The intention is still to use the rest of those pieces and this panel to make some baby quilts. So hopefully I will be able to get to that soon. And in this box is pieces for what is underneath it. And that is a quilt that I'm working on that's going to be a pattern in my shop someday. It really should have been done months ago, but other things have taken priority. So that's just a block, well, a stack of blocks, but you can only see the one on top, of a solids quilt that I've designed. Down here, these are the blocks of a Sue Daly block of the month English paper piecing quilt. I can't remember if it was a block of the month or a block of the week, but either way, it started during lockdown. It started during lockdown, and I think it was meant to last, like, I don't know, 3 months or something. And I think I've done about 6 blocks. But yeah, it's really pretty, and I really love the pattern. I don't know if you can see, that's 6 sort of diamond-shaped blocks there coming together to make that motif with some hexagons around it and some more. I guess they're jewel shapes actually, not diamonds. But I really love the way it's turning out, but like I say, I did start it about 5 years ago and then kind of forgot about it. I should really get back to that. Those are all Tilda fabrics in that quilt. So yeah, so this is the room as it stands. Pretty much completely full already of things, and I have hundreds more bolts of fabric on the way. I've got, I think, at least 40 bolts arriving this coming week. Today's Sunday, and I've got a few deliveries coming this week I know of. So yesterday we went to IKEA and bought 4 more Billy bookcases to go down the hallway. Now it's possibly not ideal. Down there that's the laundry. There's another room in here, that's my husband's projects room, and then there's another room back there, which is where now most of my personal storage lives. It's pretty chaotic back there. But this is where we're extending the shop to. So yeah, that's the situation in the fabric room. And as I run it from my house, I'm not actually open to the public. I don't have like a shop front as such, but given recent events and you know, another fabric shop closing, and I'm losing my job, so I'll be home more often and have more time, I've decided to open up my shop here at home to people on an appointment basis. So if you are local to Perth and you like to come have a look and you want to shop in person and see what is available, please just contact me on the website and we can set up a time for you to come by and have a look. Oh, I will just say too, I'm not sure if you noticed, all of this fabric is still wrapped in plastic. So I'll just show you. When the bolts are delivered to me, they come in a plastic sleeve. And when I first started buying fabric by the bolts, I was leaving it in the sleeves because I just felt like it would be, it would protect it, keep it nice, and it was just as easy to have them in the sleeves. But obviously, as I got more and more, I thought, well, this is impractical, so I'll take them all out. But what I found was actually sliding them in and out of these shells is a lot easier to do when they've got the plastic on them. They're slippery. You can grab the plastic and pull it out. They don't like bunch onto each other and stick. So that's why they're all still wrapped in plastic. But if you come and visit me, and when people start to come and visit me, I'm probably going to have to take them out of the plastic because it doesn't look as nice. It's not as pretty. And it is a lot more practical to have them out of the plastic when I'm pulling them off the shelves to like cut a bunch of them and put them all back. But it does make it nice to just slide them right in and out. It's not that easy to do when the plastic isn't on them. But that's why they're all still wrapped in plastic. But if you ever come and see me, they won't be wrapped in plastic anymore. So yeah, that's my fabric shop. And it's probably only going to get bigger and more chaotic, but that's okay. I'm very, very happy to have it. It's the dream, right? It's my dream. It might not be everybody's dream. It's chaotic and it's a bit stressful, and it's I don't know, I guess like any small business, it's a risk, but it's one that I'm happy to be taking. And I hope you guys found it interesting to see. Okay, that's all for today. Let me know in the comments anything you want to have a chat about. Tell me which vests you like the best, which fabrics you like the best, etc. And hop onto my website if you want and let me know, or contact me by email if you want to arrange a time to come around and do some shopping. That will be really fun. Okay, I will see you again soon. Love you. Bye.